Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use, for purposes such as criticism, comment.
Most definitely, me peoples. I'm back with another exclusive video reaction. This particular video reaction right here. And so that man, T.I.P., man, I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying, and King Harris, you feel me? Hey, man, it's going to be a lot of things being spoke upon in this here video. I'm just here to give you my reaction and give you my 1-2 and on my take on this situation. You dig what I'm talking about? Hey, I can't forget Boosie, though. Boosie got some things to say. So stay tuned in with this video reaction. You guys will see for yourself. You dig? Y'all already know what to do. Make sure you like, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. Meanwhile, me peoples, let's jump right off.
But I'm going to tell you like this. When I saw that, I think T.I. fucking lying.
Tell me, it been 20 years, bro. It been 20 years. I figure if I wasn't built like that, it'll show by now. It been 20 years, bro. I done faced every challenge motherfucker that like to throw at me, man. You ain't seen me fold, you ain't seen me break down.
Harris is back in the headlines once again. And this time, the drama is way louder than a Waffle House fight. Forget the skipped court dates because his own baby mama just flipped the internet upside down after allegedly leaking what fans are calling a gay tape of King. Whether it's real or not doesn't even matter right now because the streets are running wild with it. And if that wasn't messy enough, Boosie decided to jump in and clown T.I. for how he raised his son. He didn't even bother.
I live with my grandma. You know, we'll go to the house on like the weekend. They'll say, hey, we shooting today. We need y'all at the house. They'll come get me from my grandma's house. And right after we done, when the cameras go off, I'm right back to my grandma's house.
Nope. He took it straight to the dad. That alone turned this whole mess from gossip into a full-blown feud. Fans are screaming, this ain't about King anymore, this is about T.I. And they're not wrong. The talk around King's sexuality has been floating for years. People been whispering, he look a little fruity. Others swore the baby was just a cover-up. Now, with this leak floating around, every old rumor is crawling back out the grave. The wildest one? That King might not even be the father of his son. Fans been saying his baby mama only got pregnant to secure the Harris bag, and now the whispers are louder than ever. From the start, people were side-eyeing the situation. The internet pointed out she was older than him and dragged her like, girl, you knew exactly what you were doing. Then came the clip. King, his baby mama, and their newborn, smiling like a happy family. But instead of silencing the trolls, it just made them louder. Next came the money talk. Commenters swore she saw the Harris name, the fame, the money, and cashed out with a baby. Whether true or not, the comments stacked up fast, and when the baby finally came, the doubts only grew. Some posted, he don't even look like King. Others said King just wanted to flex his grown man status. That's when King hopped online, calling the baby his twin, saying, he looks just like me. He dropped photos back to back like proof. But the harder he pushed, the less people bought it. Folks weren't only questioning the baby, they were digging deeper into years of rumors about his sexuality. To them, the timing was too perfect. A sudden baby, right when people were questioning his identity. They called it a cover-up move. Now with this so-called tape floating around, those same people are yelling, we knew it.
Man, most definitely, that boy definitely do look like his mama, though. But a whole nother different version of a young man, though, you feel me? Well, I guess it's true to actually say, though, Lil Boosie and T.I. actually got some unfinished business, bruh. You know what I'm saying, amongst the two. You feel me, I mean? But on the flip side, though, with the King situation, man, damn, they got a video surfacing. Hey, man, the girl was a lot older. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it was a play. Maybe it was a cover-up. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? But at the same token, it is seeming a little fishy. And bruh do put it on the sign of trying to be so street. You know what I mean? To the T. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to be a young man that's not from the street, especially if you wasn't out there in the streets with your pops or even been exposed to that life like that. You feel me? I'm talking about?
They're saying King used the baby as a shield to quiet the talk. And honestly, that's when the whole conversation shifted. It wasn't just about paternity anymore. It was about whether King has been putting on a performance this entire time. Because let's be real, This ain't his first time being accused of acting. Fans been saying for years that King's been cosplaying as a gangster. He talks tough online, dives headfirst into beefs, and tries to play like he's fresh out the trenches. But people don't forget his upbringing. He's the son of T.I. and Tiny, born into privilege, raised with money, and spent most of his childhood with his grandma. Ain't nothing wrong with that, but it doesn't exactly scream, "I made it out the mud." So now the streets are connecting the dots. The baby, the rumors, the tape, the fake tough guy act. To them, it all paints the same picture. King's been trying to prove something the whole world ain't buying, and with Boosie clowning T.I. instead of King, this story isn't just scandal, it's family warfare in front of everybody. Every time King hops online yelling about being from the hood, the comments light him up. Folks clown him like, "Be serious, bro." They say he's been forcing this street image to cover the fact that, deep down, he doesn't really fit the role. It's like he's fighting two wars at the same time, proving he's a man and a father, while also proving he's some hardened gangster. But instead of making him look tough, it just makes the downward spiral look even worse. And that spiral hit another level when the infamous Waffle House clips dropped. A video went viral showing King straight up arguing with employees over food, screaming and throwing threats like he was in the middle of a street beef. Viewers were stunned, saying, "This is T.I. and Tiny's son wilding out at a fast food spot." The very next day, T.I. himself jumped on live, shaking his head like he couldn't believe it either. He basically said he didn't understand why his son felt the need to go back and forth with a short order cook. Ty explained that he and King's uncles had already tried to talk sense into him, reminding him that he lives a life most people would dream about. So why lower himself to argue with folks just doing their jobs? But clearly none of that advice stuck, because after that, King's name just kept popping up in the messiest ways. The biggest scandal? His arrest footage from 2024 surfaced online, showing the exact moment he got pulled over in Georgia. Cops said he nearly smacked into a squad car leaving a gas station, and once they stopped him, the smell of weed poured out of his BMW. To make matters worse, he had a gun on his hip. When officers ran his info, they found out he had a warrant sitting from way back in 2022. That case was tied to speeding, driving with a suspended license, and even a DUI. He was supposed to show up in court but skipped, which left the warrant hanging over his head. The arrest video showed police dragging him out, cuffing him, and sending him straight to county jail. And while King himself stayed calm in the footage, the internet wasn't having it. To them, this was just more proof his life was spinning out of control. People were sharing the video like, "Look at King Harris."
Man, I feel like that's one of the coldest things that a man could go through. You done raised a young boy to be a boy, and other things come out, you feel me what I'm saying? Hey man, I ain't trying to denounce the certain type of people that's living their lifestyle, but that's to each his own, you feel me what I'm saying? But for a man to raise his child and hope that he become a man like himself, you know what I'm saying, then get some news, man, you feel me? I guess that's probably why they trying to cover everything, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? Because, hey, this is something to think about, you feel me? You watch clearly, you feel me, and look at all the clips though, bro. Do be dressing, you know what I'm saying, in strange ways, you feel me what I'm saying? So I can understand why a lot of things are coming out the way that they're coming out.
Getting read his rights, and the comments piled up fast, branding him reckless, spoiled, and lost. At this point, the public spiral wasn't just about bad choices. It looked like he was doing everything in his power to cover up deeper rumors he couldn't shake. The Waffle House meltdown, the missed court dates, the arrest, fans connected it all to the whispers about his real identity. And right when the alleged tape started making waves online, who decided to stir the pot? Boosie. Instead of staying quiet, he jumped in with slick shade, clowning T.I. over how his son ended up in this mess. And the internet caught it immediately. This wasn't shade at King, it was shade aimed at T.I. himself. And that's what made it sting so much. Boosie ain't just some random voice online. He's a voice the culture pays attention to, and he made sure everybody knew it. Lately, remember, Boosie just took a plea deal on his own gun charges. And if the judge decides to play hardball, he could end up back in a cell. So for him to be out here trolling T.I. while he's got his own legal fire burning shows you everything. This was never just about King. This was personal. And if you've been watching closely, you know T.I. and Boosie's bond has been shaky for years. To understand why Boosie even jumped in this mess, we gotta rewind the beef timeline. And trust me, it explains everything. It all started when Boosie made headlines blasting Dwayne Wade's daughter after she came out as transgender. The internet dragged him instantly, calling him transphobic, and guess who was one of the loudest voices against him? T.I. exclamation mark. T.I. jumped straight on Instagram telling Boosie to mind his business and stop obsessing over another man's child. That clapback planted the first seed of tension. Then, just months later, things went nuclear when Boosie accused T.I. of being a snitch in his old federal gun case. Here's Boosie in that Vlad sit down. If you cooperated, that means you a rat. And T.I. didn't hold back either. He fired back, saying he'd never let anybody disrespect his name or his family, and he wasn't scared to go head-to-head with Boosie if it came to that. From there, the feud snowballed out of control. By summer, Boosie was blasting T.I.'s parenting, especially after T.I. admitted he took his daughter to the gynecologist. Boosie called him controlling and out of pocket. T.I. clapped back, saying Boosie was the last person on earth who should be giving parenting advice. At that point, shots were flying in every direction.
So do you guys think, you know what I'm saying, basically he may have caught wind and felt like it was a possibility of one of his kids being a certain way, particularly him? The reason why I say that is because, you know, you defended who you defended, you know what I'm saying, online though, you feel me, where everybody can see it. And nobody's knocking you, feel me, you know what I'm saying? But I can say this though, maybe he felt when he defended him, it was because of what he was already experienced, so he understanding like, man, you never know. I just don't know, you feel me? Or maybe he was just trolling Boosie from the begin with, and now Boosie, you know what I'm saying, hey man, he stepped it up a notch or two. You hear what I'm talking about? So you feel me? That's one thing about the internet, it's undefeated, and that's one thing about people.
Family business, street cred, even snitch allegations. This wasn't just rap beef anymore, this was personal warfare. For a while, they both acted like it calmed down, even went online claiming they had no real issue. But by 2023, it reignited. Boosie accused T.I. of not standing by him during his legal drama. I made it crystal clear he was done babysitting and wasn't obligated to defend a man who kept disrespecting him. Fast forward to right now, and it all makes sense. Boosie jumping into King's scandal wasn't random. It wasn't clout chasing. It was a direct shot at T.Y., a chance to poke him where it hurts most, his son. And with King sitting at the center of internet chaos, Boosie couldn't resist throwing gas on the fire. Once that alleged tape started circling and Boosie chimed in, the internet wasted no time tearing King apart. And some of the comments, they were brutal. One person said, "He was always weird looking to me. Too bad he took after Tiny and not T.I." That one stung, because people have been comparing King's looks to his parents since he was a kid.
The most strangest things is this. It don't matter how much money you got. It don't matter how successful you are. It's going to always be some type of problems. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? And when you have some type of fame or notoriety, people going to come out the woodworks for surely. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? I ain't the type to really do all that. That's why I'm doing a video reaction of what was already on the internet, because at the end of the day, I'm not looking to go surfing, diving it all into somebody's lifestyle like that. You dig what I'm talking about? But if it's out there, though, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to conversate over it. And if it's some business about some real town business, you know what I'm saying, yeah, man, it's all differently, you know what I'm saying? But, hey, on the flip side, though, what do you guys feel about this shit, though? What do you guys feel? You know what I'm saying? I feel like I want to see the comments. I know some people got something to feel.
Then it got even colder. Another user posted, "He looks like the clown always trying to kill Bart Simpson. Sideshow Bob." And the internet ran with it. Memes started flying, side-by-side photos plastered everywhere. But the comment that lit the internet on fire was simple and savage. King about to be queen. That line didn't just clown his image. It cut right into the years of rumors about his sexuality. That's why this isn't just about a tape anymore. These comments show that people never stopped questioning who King Harris really is. And now, with Boosie stirring the pot, the conversation has turned way deeper. exposing that the bad blood between T.I. and Boosie never really died. And caught in the middle of it all is King Harris himself. So hit that like button, subscribe, and stay locked in, because this feud is only
So I was rich then, but you ain't even know it like Rocco. We don't keep score, we just keep on scoring.